So in this video, you are going to learn why collagen matters, what type of collagen you should be taking for what benefit, when to take it, and how much collagen you need to take and for how long in order to see those benefits.
So collagen, it's a lot of hype around collagen these days. I feel like no one was talking about collagen at all until about 3 years ago. And then suddenly every single beauty chain that ever existed got on board and started selling maximum price collagen and telling you that if you didn't have collagen, your hair was going to fall out and your skin was going to be terrible and you wouldn't have any nails. And now the thing is that there is a really fundamental basis to why we do need collagen, but we just have to be a bit careful about where we find it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Collagen used to exist much more abundantly in our diets when we were living in cultures that ate a lot of offal meat, that slowly cooked their meat and cooked the bones. They had bone broths. All of these sorts of things gave collagen and gelatin and all these sorts of like good quality versions of kind of collagen peptides were available to us. So there's something like an 80% drop in the amount of collagen that we're actually eating these days. And then on top of that, I think the big challenge is that as we grow older, we hear this awful statistic, which is that by the age of 50, you've lost 50% of the collagen in your body. That's really scary. And it's a thing. And that's why we see aging, which is why we understand that collagen is going to be the doyen of the beauty circles, right?
Yeah, because in my world where I work with skin all of the time, people are always saying to me, oh, well, I put this cream on my face that's filled with collagen, or I got this new one that's filled with collagen, and they say that it reduces wrinkles by this amount of thing. But it's not really the case that we just put collagen on our skin and then it goes into the skin and suddenly transforms our wrinkles, right? It's much more fundamental than that.
It's a total misnomer to say that collagen creams can fill your skin with collagen. Your skin is not a digestive system. And in order to turn collagen into collagen, your body, a bit like fats becoming fats in your diet don't just suddenly turn into fat in your body. There's a whole metabolic process that goes on there. Your body, when it consumes any protein or peptide chain, which is what collagen is, it breaks it down into its constituent parts, the amino acids, and then it puts it back together based on the types of amino acids you've given it, the types of tissue it knows it needs to create as some more collagen. I think the thing to remember is that one of the reasons why we see this aging kind of thing where we have like cross-linking of collagen fibers in the skin, a lack of elasticity, like the wrinkles and this kind of pocketing and that sort of stuff is because your body is donating or diverting collagen to more essential tissue where it knows it needs that to stay alive. So all of the elastic tissue in our body, all of the structural tissue in our body, all relies on collagen protein. The fascia, it's everywhere, really.
But what's the difference between protein and collagen then? That's a question that I get asked all the time. Well, surely if it's a protein, if it's made from amino acids, it's a protein. I'm taking protein powder. Do I need to take collagen as well?
That's a really good question. So proteins contain long chains of amino acids. Chains of amino acids that are shorter are called peptide chains. So collagen is a protein, but it's not a complete protein. It's not a whole protein. So it provides a limited spectrum of amino acids. Proline, hydroxyproline, and glycine are the ones that collagen is really dominant in. And so, like, for instance, if you're taking vegan collagen, what they try to do is put together those 3 amino acids from vegan sources to give you something that looks like collagen. But yeah, a whole protein is providing a big spectrum of amino acids, lots of arginine, lots of valine, leucine, all these sorts of other very important essential amino acids that do other jobs, essentially.
But so if protein has all of them in it, why would you take collagen alongside it?
So it's because it's the amount and abundance of those, particularly those 3 amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, that are missing out of most protein powders, let's say, and protein-rich foods, which is why when you eat a muscle meat, you don't get a rich source of collagen protein unless you get lots of sinewy stuff and you chew it and it's been well cooked such that you can digest it, unless you get the bone stuff, and that's where the collagenous protein is. That's where you get all this stuff so it's rich in those particular amino acids as opposed to a broad spectrum of amino acids.
So one of the things that I understood was that people say to me all the time, why would I supplement with collagen? You know, I'm taking protein, I'm doing these other things. Maybe I eat bone marrow or whatever. But what I understood was that the body will always fund the most essential processes for the collagen first, which is like bones and gut health. And then you need to have an excess of it in your system if you want it for the beauty reasons, which would be like hair, skin, and nails. Is that the case?
Yeah, yes, it definitely is. And I think your body will always, like you say, divert to the most biologically essential processes first. I think one of collagen I always thought was a bit of a BS market, honestly. I thought it was just purely kind of this marketing thing to people who are victims of the aging, anti-aging kind of like hype, essentially. But when I started to read, I think it was an Italian study in 2016 that looked at collagen supplementation for to see about whether it could heal people with articular joint injuries in the knee. And what they did was 45 minutes before these people they trained them to failure, something like squats to failure on a knee that was damaged, which isn't fun. But 45 minutes before they trained, they gave them 16,000 milligrams of collagen, so 16 grams of collagen, which is a lot. And then after they trained, they muscle biopsied around the knee and they found collagen protein synthesis, so collagen peptides appearing in the bloodstream around it and the tissue around where the damage had occurred, which was really exciting because not only did that make me kind of go, oh, hang on, collagen, but also, oh my God, body wisdom. You tell your body, I've got a pain signal here. I've trained it, and your body goes, damn it, where can I find those nutrients? And you go like, oh, I've actually supplied all those nutrients. Your body goes, cool, I'll hoover them up then and send it exactly to where it's needed. So I think that was a real indicator for me. So even like the work you do as well. So like when you do work with gua sha or facial massage, it could be a similar thing whereby when you stimulate those tissues and circulation and lymphatic stuff in the areas that you want the collagen to get to, if you take collagen before those sorts of processes, it makes sense from this study that it would then lead to collagen synthesis in the skin, not from using stupid creams.
So it's maximizing the effects there.
Exactly. I think so.
So there are a couple of different types of collagen. There's marine, there's bovine, there's chicken. Now maybe there's even eggshell collagen. Nobody knows. Controversial. Why would one person take one collagen as opposed to another? And what are the sort of pitfalls? What are the things you need to look out for in terms of when you're choosing a collagen? What do you want to look for?
Okay, that was a really good question. So a bunch of questions, really. I suppose when it comes to collagen types, yeah, so you have within each collagen source, you're going to have a different spectrum of amino acids, a different ratio of those amino acids, that glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, etc. And what those are broken down into is types of collagen. So type 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are seen as essential collagens, or collagens that your body can't essentially cannibalize other amino acids to make those collagen peptide structures itself. Beyond that, then you think you've type up to like 15 or 13 or something, and your body can make those from those first 5 types. So we need to source those first 5 types from our diet. And in marine collagen, you'll have predominantly type 1 collagen. In bovine collagen, you have type 1 and 3. In chicken collagen, you'll primarily type 2, as I understand it. Eggshell is type 5 and type 10, also contains glucosamine and other interesting stuff. But for me, I think what I've read, and the more I read, the same companies that are issuing the sorts of guidances around these collagens are changing constantly. So originally when they brought out their bovine collagen, the marine collagen, they were saying like, bovine is strictly for this. It's for your joints and bones because type 1 and 3 allows you to make more type 2. And type 2 is the type that you find in the structural tissue inside the lining of your joints. So really good for articular joint issues, let's say, or rebuilding from wear and tear. In cartilage, let's say. And then they would have said that marine specifically because it's type 1. Type 1 is more abundantly found in your skin, But like we were saying before, we know that your body will send the collagen where it needs to go first. And when you look at the differences actually between marine and bovine from one source to another, really it's very changeable as to whether you're getting 1 and 3 or more 1 and less 3 or no 3 at all and just 1. So I think the thing that I would definitely say is to mix and match. Variety is the spice of life. I think we know, the one thing we definitely know is diversity in the diet is what gives the body what it needs. And we're always trying to catch up with what the body is doing, right? You know, all of this kind of marketing science, they're based on small studies. They're based on in vitro studies. You know, the sort of studies like I was talking about, that 2016 one, in human in vivo studies, those are really rare to find those types of things. And I think when it comes to the breakdown of like, is it marine? Is it bovine? Which to do? I think marine, generally speaking, if you're doing beauty-oriented collagen supplementation maybe focus on marine, because potentially there might be a case that it might be because it's a smaller peptide, like a finer molecule, lower molecular weight, that it might penetrate and get through to the skin more. Again, like I've heard that from some companies. I really haven't seen that verified a lot, but generally speaking, there's a broad acceptance that marine collagen is for beauty and bovine collagen is for more fundamental structural tissue, joints and bones, etc.
Isn't the sourcing really important though? Because we think so much about fish. I was talking to someone today about fish and going, oh, fresh fish is so amazing. Yeah, don't have it from Thailand or Japan though, because those waters are really polluted. Or if you're getting it from Ireland, it should only be from one side of the sea. Bovine, is it grass-fed? Is it organic? Is it local? Is it European? How do you know? Because we're really talking about the fundamentals of those things. You want to make sure those fish and those cows are real healthy if they're putting that stuff in that's in their joints, in their bones.
Exactly, because it's been boiled down from a hide or whatever, or taken from the press from the skull, or the skeletal tissue from the fish. I think, yeah, absolutely. There is a big concern over the quality of the sourcing of these things, and because of the concentration of the potential toxins that could have been there, like in the sea or in the grass or whatever it was that was feeding the beef that then you're getting the collagen from. Most bovine collagen comes from big beef producing countries like Brazil and Argentina. Now, they can grass feed for most of the year round. That's great, but they're also not that hot on, organic agriculture. So pesticides, antibiotics, these sorts of things, growth hormone might be used, all sorts of other stuff. So I'd be a little bit concerned about those. For that reason, if you can find a European sourced bovine collagen, great. If you can find an MSC certified marine collagen, Marine Stewardship Council, that's going to be more monitored in terms of the quality of the marine source. It's not perfect, if I'm honest. I think like most things in our diet, if we're going to make a choice like this to look at collagen, we're looking at a market that's like very hungry for finding collagen sources and not very careful about those sources and where they come from. So they're kind of like on the back end having to try to tag on, we got MSC certification, so it's safe, it's grand. But actually that doesn't really tell you about the quality of the water it comes from. It just tells you about the sustainability of the fish stocks, which isn't really that much about human health. It's a little bit about planetary health. So yeah, what I tend to do is like push your retailer, push your brands to try to get more information, more transparency and more clarity over their sourcing, because that's still, honestly, for me as a retailer, something I'm really challenged with. And yeah, and look around and do your digging and do your due diligence to see, are there bovine sources that are organic or European? For instance, Ancient Brave, we know, uses European source collagen. They've been waiting to try and get organic certification for the last couple of years, so they've a conscious intention towards organic, which I think is a big deal, because having organic collagen would be amazing.
And what about vegan collagen? Because there's lots of people who either choose to be vegan or can't eat animal products or marine products. Is the vegan collagen even worth it? Or does it do anything, or what?
So vegan collagen doesn't exist, for a start. It just it's a bunch of amino acids they've taken, cobbled together to try to look like a collagen. But you can get vegan proline, vegan hydroxyproline, vegan glycine. So I think they take it from yeast sources, these sorts of things. If you're vegan, I think I would be extra conscious of the needs for collagen, because you literally have no collagen in your diet. So we all know that finding good protein sources as a vegan is really important, because you've got, they're all stuck to fiber, and liberating from the fiber takes a lot, and you're losing maybe half of the value of the protein you're getting anyway. So yes, a vegan collagen makes sense. Again, Ancient Brave actually do a lovely vegan collagen with lots of added nice bits. They do two different ones, one more for joints with glucosamine and stuff added, and one for skin with like zinc and biotin and other sorts of things added in as well. So I think it's really vital. Actually, if I was a vegan, I'd be much more worried about collagen as a supplement than I would be as a meat eater or somebody who eats a kind of diverse kind of animal food diet.
Name 3 brands of collagen that you would recommend people to start looking at.
So Ancient Brave, we talked about. Planet Paleo, another good UK brand that deals with Argentinian grass-fed beef and MSC certified marine collagen. And then Nature's Plus, which is a more recent one on the market. The reason I like the Nature's Plus one, it's one of the few big supplement companies that's still independent, as in not owned by Nestle or another crappy big multinational corporate that doesn't care about you. So Nature's Plus is good that way. They also, in terms of their formulation, they have 4 different collagens in their brand. So they have bovine, marine, eggshell membrane, and chicken collagen. And they also have protein digesting enzymes in there. That's a massive deal, because I think one of the big things that we're kind of missing when we talk about collagen loss is actually not just that it's not there in the sources, but that our body is having difficulty digesting and breaking down protein as we age. Reduction of hydrochloric acid and stomach acid in protein digesting enzymes, it makes sense. Pepsin, renin, all these sorts of things. And so if we're not unlocking the protein, then we're not getting the collagen out anyway. So that smart formulation has protein digesting enzymes in there as well, which I think is a smart move.
And all of those are in one, the chicken.
Yeah.
Bovine. Okay.
That's pretty good value. Yeah, pretty good value. It's like 10 grams of per serving for 35 quid, and you get like 40 servings, or you get 20 servings. If you take 20 grams, they recommend actually a 20 gram dose as well, which gives you 20 servings for 35 quid, which is actually pretty good value.
And tell me, the last thing is how much to take. You kind of touched on it there, but you know, if you're a general person who hasn't, for example, got like a serious bone degenerative condition or isn't like recovering from a serious illness, how much should you be taking?
Okay, so let's say between age 30 and 40, something like 7 to 10,000 milligrams a day. From maybe mid 40s or late 40s onwards, maybe possibly 20,000 milligrams a day. You can take it in the evening time for some benefits, nighttime sleep benefits, because collagen also has the glycine in collagen is really useful to help to calm the racing mind at night, reduce synaptic firing, blunt that thing that we get, that overexcited neuronal activity that happens as a result of screens and all this sorts of noise that goes on in our day. So taking maybe 7 to 10,000 milligrams in our 30s, maybe 10 to 15,000 milligrams in our 40s, maybe 20,000 milligrams and above in our 50s and beyond. I think people really see change in that. Like when you get over 20,000 milligrams, there's some really, really decent basis for studies to show that you reduce fracture risk, you do all sorts of good stuff in terms of neurological health. So it's super smart.
And so just as a roundup, the top 3 reasons that you might take collagen are?
So repair of your joint tissue and your bones, so preventing damage to the kind of the big kind of movement areas in your body, so all your big joints and your little joints. Then support for your skin, because that matters, to keep that skin hanging on our face nicely and bouncy and elastic. And probably the third thing actually for sleep. Sleep's a really big deal, and collagen can really support it.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for answering all my millions of questions about collagen. If you guys want to find out more about collagen, we have a full-length podcast with Joe from Ancient Brave, who's one of the nutritionists there. And we go into this in much more detail in a sort of hour-long episode. If you have any other questions that you would like us to answer on topics like gut health or about supplements or about your sexual health or your mental health, please comment below and let us know so that we can do a podcast on that too. And make sure you like and subscribe so you hear about the latest episodes.
Thanks for watching.